Hey, Frank Maher, privacy expert and blackmail consultant. So I want to just quickly talk about how to stop blackmail by getting the right help, because getting the right help is probably one of the biggest problems online when it comes to dealing with blackmail, because all the professional companies out there charge money to utilize their services or whatever form of services they offer. The free information is a question of whether it's valid information or whether it applies to your particular blackmail. So let's just get rid of the idea of free information online that you read on blogs, message boards, and government websites, because it's just a bunch of crap. They are just people posting information who've never experienced blackmail, or may have experienced something but maybe got off lucky. Doesn't mean it applies to you. So how to stop blackmail with the right help? It comes down to preventing blackmail exposure. So when you speak to a company, you want to ask them, how do they do that? Now, whatever answer they give you, it should be a solid answer. It shouldn't be something like we scare them off, or we tell them we're on the case, or we found them, or we're sending them a cease and desist letter, which lawyers do, which is totally useless. Blackmailers aren't afraid. I mean, they've committed the crime. They're typically overseas, and they don't worry about law enforcement. The other question is, how do you stop them from contacting me in the future? That's really important, because you can't think of blackmail as a here and now situation, even though at the moment it is. But if you don't protect for the future, your information is, regurgitated, and they contact you again if they got your Facebook page or your Instagram or your mobile number, your Signal, Telegram app, whatever it may be. So the question is, how are you going to confirm or make sure or ensure that they don't contact me in 3 months from now? If the blackmail professional tells you, oh, don't worry, they won't, that's not an answer. You need a solid answer. The other question is, how are you going to protect my identity? How do you make sure that, or ensure that they're not going to contact my job in 3 months? What are you doing? So whatever company you're using, you want to get some solid answers from them. And most victims act out of fear. They're just so afraid of exposure that they just latch on to anything that sounds good. Just because it sounds good doesn't mean it works. So think about that. The other thing is, who are you hiring to help you? I mean, is it some company that's got like 10 employees, and those 10 employees all know who you are and your information? I mean, is that really privacy? No, it's not. I mean, do you want 10 people knowing? The question is also, who's helping you in the company? Who's doing this work? I always hated that idea, seasoned investigator. It's like, what does that mean? I mean, when you contact me, you get me. When you hire me to take over your blackmail and solve your problem, I do it. Nobody else does it. I have no employees. I work alone. So you are guaranteed to get me. You have access to me 24/7, and I fix your problem. So if you want to know how I solve blackmail and how I protect your identity, prevent the exposure, and get rid of the blackmail, contact me. And other than that, be safe. If you have any questions, just reach out to my website.